Well, another week and more fraud in Minnesota. Yesterday, federal prosecutors announced charges against 15 people in connection to Medicaid and childcare fraud. Prosecutors say these schemes soaked taxpayers out of more than $90 million. They say it's the highest loss amount ever in a Minnesota Medicaid case. And it's the largest autism fraud scheme ever charged by the Department of Justice. Check out what allegedly happened here, according to Assistant Attorney General Colin McDonald. He says some of the defendants improperly diagnosed children with autism and government for autism services that were never provided, while providing the parents with kickbacks. One person charged with fraud claimed to perform services on a man who was found dead after having never received the services that the government paid for. Two people are charged with defrauding $22 million from a program meant to help disabled people live in their own homes. One person charged has apparently fled from authorities, according to the FBI. McDonald said this crowd used disabled people like lottery tickets, using government funds to buy luxury cars, jewelry, even real estate. Much of this fraud allegedly started during the COVID pandemic. But hold on, this gets even worse. That Assistant Attorney General said many of the fraud schemes in the state are still active, and he's alleging cooperation with state leaders has, quote, fallen significantly short. McDonald said 15 DOJ attorneys would be deployed throughout the U.S. to pursue fraud charges, specifically in California and Minnesota.
Now, my message to the fraudsters is this: eat, drink, and be merry today, because your days of frolicking and freedom are numbered. We are doing everything we can to find you. And when we do, we will prosecute you. And we will claw back every dollar you have stolen from the American people. We will not rest until every fraudster knows that the cost of stealing from the American people is far higher than any scheme is worth.
To recap, Medicaid fraud in Minnesota has been a major scandal involving billions in federal and state funds, an estimated $9 billion. Federal prosecutors have described it as industrial-scale fraud. Mehmet Oz, administrator over Medicare and Medicaid, has threatened to withhold hundreds of millions of dollars in matching funds from the state until he sees some proof of stronger controls. On what's at stake, here's Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
When criminals exploit these programs, taxpayers lose billions, and vulnerable children lose their access to care. Healthcare fraud now costs the United States tens of billions of dollars every year. Some estimates place the broader cost of healthcare fraud and improper payments at $100 billion annually. That fraud drives up healthcare costs for all Americans. It weakens public trust. It drains taxpayer resources and threatens the long-term stability of both Medicaid and Medicare. If we fail to confront the fraud aggressively, these programs will not survive for future generations in the form Americans rely upon them today.
You'll remember that Governor Tim Walz ended his campaign for governor amid this scandal. While he has acknowledged the problem, he's criticized the Trump administration's measures as politically motivated overreach that he says harms vulnerable Minnesotans.